a happy face, a PC player, homemade pastry on the way. I'm in love with life all over. Hey, Saturday night, it's the Peoples Voice Café.
This must be the People's Voice Café, and we opened our doors, not here, it was a Catholic church down on 6th Avenue in the Village, on November 3rd, 1979. And so this is the eve of our 40th anniversary, and I'd like to invite up a world-renowned storyteller. So let's listen to Thelma Ruffin Thomas.
My name is Thelma Ruffin Thomas, and I'm here to say I'm mighty proud to be here at the People's Voice Café. 40 years this place has always been a haven for all the performers, including this storytelling maiden. I've been telling stories of what, where, and why. Some are risque, because you know I'm not shy. Folks here are so welcoming. You know that is true. Make a donation, have coffee, cake, learn something new. Now let's get started on this tale I've got to tell about a time in history you may remember well. Turmoil and unrest were part of life in '79. People were avidly looking for a sign. Climate change around the globe was already underway. 50 American hostages demanded action without delay. A meltdown at 3 Mile Island made nuclear disaster a sure bet. The politics of the day had people very upset. President Carter, Thatcher, Reagan, and Sadat presided over economies, legislation, foreign affairs, the lot. 3,000 farmers drove tractors to D.C. on a mission. Congress made education the 13th cabinet position. Spectacular bid won the Kentucky Derby race. Voyager 1 and 2 sent photos to Earth from outer space. St. Vincent and the Grenadines became an independent nation. 10 hurt, 4 dead in Greensboro before an anti-Klan demonstration. The gold prices soared past 500 per ounce. Tension in the Middle East steadily mounts. But all was not lost for the world that year. Everyday people yearned for lives without fear. TV, music, books, and plays helped citizens lighten up their days. James Baldwin, Steve Martin, Phil Donahue, and Billy Joel filled our days with love, laughter, tears, and soul. Mother Teresa, Nobel Prize winner, had true compassion, proving that service to others would always be in fashion. The year brought a bright spot in the local news. An alternative coffee house was born to educate and amuse. Folk music, rap, jazz, poetry, storytelling, and dance. This version of Saturday Night Live, your life it will enhance. Performers known and unknown from all walks of life shed light on the burdens of struggle and strife. Hearing and seeing such creations in this space has given it quite a humanitarian base. The People's Voice Café was founded with love, a haven watched over by Ray Corona from above. Come join in the fun on a regular basis. Saturday nights will become your oasis. 40 years of volunteers have created a great organization, proof of their commitment to the culture of this nation. I'd like to thank the Community Church of New York for giving People's Voice Café a fabulous place to play. My time is surely up, and I'd just like to say, happy 40th anniversary to the People's Voice Café. like to ask the author of this poem that I just read to stand up. Diana Yates, will you please stand up and give her a hand?
Thank you, Thelma. Now, will the people who are in the first part, you know who they are, come up and sit down, and we'll get started. First time I came to People's Voice Café, it was at the Washington Square Methodist Church in Greenwich Village on West 4th Street. The place has a special meaning for me in Maryland because that's where we met in 1968. First time I went to People's Voice Café, though, was many years later, and the first person I heard was Judy Gorman. She's here tonight somewhere. And she up here yet? No, she's on her way. Anyway, among the other people I heard for the first time, Leon Rosselson. But I also heard someone who became someone I really fell in love with, someone who is so really important to me and meant so much. My comrade in song, my soul brother, Eric Levine. This is a song he used to sing. You can't make me doubt it. You can't make me doubt it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. I said you can't make me doubt it, 'cause I know all about it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. You want to help me? Said you can't make me doubt it. I said you can't make me doubt it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. I said you can't make me doubt it, 'cause I know all about it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. I feel the wheel a-turning. I feel the wheel a-turning. I feel the wheel a-turning in my soul. I feel the wheel a-turning, and I feel that fire burning. I feel that wheel a-turning in my soul. Ready? But you can't make me doubt it. No, you can't make me doubt it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. You can't make me doubt it, 'cause I know all about it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. And hate ain't gonna bind me. Hate ain't gonna bind me. Hate ain't gonna bind me in my soul. Said hate ain't gonna bind me, 'cause love is gonna find me. Love is gonna find me in my soul. And you can't make me doubt it. No, you can't make me doubt it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. You can't make me doubt it, 'cause I know all about it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. I was in a group for 5 years with Eric. Joel Landy was in the group, Ann Price, they're both here tonight. Gina Thompson, who's not here tonight, was in the group. McDougal Street Rent Party, we called ourselves. After the rent parties that people used to have in Greenwich Village, hootenannies, charging 50 cents or 35 cents necessary to pay the rent. And Eric used to sing this verse, and the rest of us were a little skeptical. We said, nah, it's not for us, but this is for Eric. I love everybody. I love everybody. I love everybody in my soul. I love everybody. Said I love everybody. I love everybody in my soul. Eric said, no, you don't have to like him. We're on the road to freedom. On the road to freedom. On the road to freedom in my soul. We're on the road to freedom, and a child is gonna lead them. On the road to freedom in my soul. Last time, ready? You can't make me doubt it, no, you can't make me doubt it. You can't make me doubt it in my soul. Ah, you can't make me doubt it, 'cause I know all about it. And you can't make me doubt it in my soul. God bless you. Judy Gorman, who, when I first heard her, she was Judy Gorman Jacobs, but I guess that's a story which we'll tell some other time. Here's Judy.
One of the things I thought about before People's Voice Café existed was what a drag it was to try to perform, even in this allegedly liberal and hip city. And I remember once I did an audition at a club on Bleecker Street, and the guy who was booking said, we don't need any girl acts, we have enough girl acts. I thought, is that like a dog act? And I didn't say, well, what about a woman? Because I knew that was not going to work. He said, you know, you have a really good voice. He said, why don't you do love songs? I said, all my songs are love songs. And then he said, but no, you know, I mean, like, why don't you sing stuff like Linda Ronstadt? And I said, because then you'd have a fake Linda Ronstadt instead of a real me. So then a bunch of people got together and said, why don't we have a club where you could? And here we are. So for a moment, just think about the remarkable army, the best kind of army of people who over the years have contributed blood, sweat, tears, and love to making this place still here.
Judy, these are your original notes from your original meetings.
See, it's not only the FBI that's watching you. So, in 2004 was the first giant march for women's lives when Rambush was president. And I was really honored to be asked to sing. And 1 million people came. And so I was like, wow. And then they called me back up and they said, by the way, do you have a song on the theme of the march? And I said, very defensively, I said, no, but nobody does. It's a really hard song to write, you know, I mean, like, about reproductive rights, you know, like, how's that going to work? And then I hung up the phone and I said, Judy, this is a big gig. Get over yourself. So I stayed up all night and I wrote this song called For Women's Lives. And then finally, when the Psycho Thug got elected in 2016, I thought, you always wanted to go to Cuba since I'm like 13 and read Listen Yankee. I said, if you want to go, you better go now. So I did, and it was thrilling. And then I got invited back to sing in Cuba's national festival. And I thought, you can't go back as a gringo. So I had some of my songs translated into Spanish, and so I'll sing you some of the song in Spanish and in English. Para que los niños están seguros, hay que quererlos. Para que las mujeres estén completas, tenemos que ser libres. Hay mujeres en prisiones y prisiones en las mujeres, pero la historia no tiene que ser destino para atrás y para coger impulso. Estamos plantados por el agua como ese árbol. Y así como el agua siempre se mueve por la vida de las mujeres para que sean libres. For women to be whole, for children to be safe, they must be wanted. For women to be whole, we must be free. There are women put in prisons, prisons put in women, but our history need not be our destiny. Oh, we won't back up, no, and we won't bow down. We're standing by the water like that tree and ever moving like the water. So are we here for women's lives, for women to be free. When will we be safe in our own bodies, free to give birth when and if we choose? Church and state may legislate out of fear and out of hate, but it's women, men, and children who will lose. Oh no, we won't back up. No, and we won't bow down. We're standing by the water like that tree and ever moving like the water. So are we here for women's lives, for women to be free. Our destiny, our lives hang in the balance. If we are not for women, who will be? There are women put in prisons, prisons put in women, but our history need not be our destiny. Oh no, we won't back up, no, and we won't bow down. We're standing by the water like that tree and ever moving like the water. So are we here for women's lives. Lives for women to be free. Thank you.
Judy Gorman. First time I performed at People's Voice Café was in 2002. And as usual, we usually have two featured artists together on the bill. Unless you're Holly Near or David Amram and so on. And so I did not know who I was paired with until I was told. I think Ivis Rose told me, maybe Susan Lipton told me. One of them told me that I'm splitting the night with Vicki Rovere. And Vicki turned out to be so wonderful. I hadn't heard her until then. But right now we're going to hear her. So here's Vicki.
Judy since she was 14 years old, and she was the person who got me involved in helping to organize People's Voice Café in the first place. So I owe her a lot. In the 80s, the Peace Quilters of Boise, Idaho, used their creativity and sewing skills to voice their concern for the environment and the danger of nuclear war. This song refers to the National Peace Quilt, which they circulated in the U.S. Senate, asking each member to sleep under the quilt for a night and to write their thoughts and dreams in the journal. It's now in the Smithsonian. I'm dedicating the song tonight to the Kings Bay Plowshare 7, who are awaiting sentencing. And there's info in the back if you'd like. A map is hung upon the wall, a pin pricks every port of call. The generals are strategizing death. A blip lights the computer screen. A siren blares in Abilene, and workers in the silos hold their breath. What could I do if I dared to try to change the world? Me, an ordinary woman, grown up from an ordinary girl. I had a dream when I was young, where each one spoke a different tongue, but still we could interpret every heart. And then I learned at many schools that dreaming is against the rules, and maps have lines to keep us worlds apart. What could I do if I dared to try to change the world? Me, a level-headed woman, grown up from a dreamy little girl. Who would listen if I spoke? Who would read it if I wrote? Even if I knew just what to say. Oh, but I can use these woman hands to weave a web to other lands, a lifeline with my kindred far away. What could I do if I dared to try to change the world? Me, a nimble-fingered woman, grown up from a sampler sewing girl. A trail of stitches finely wrought attaches colored bits of cloth, assembling a map with no frontiers. Our insistent vision given birth, the precious patchwork of this earth, more precious as our nuclear midnight nears. What could I do if I dared to try to change the world? Me, a globe-embracing woman, grown up from an Idaho farm girl. Senator, sleep well tonight. Your mushroom nightmares all take flight. Beneath this quilt, little loving hands have sewn. And when you wake, be sure to share the dreams that flowered under there. Your childhood dreams not lost and not outgrown. What could I do if I dared to try to change the world? Me, a fiercely dreaming woman, grown up from a visionary girl. What could I do if I dared to change the world? Me, an ordinary woman, grown up from an ordinary girl. The Disabled in Action singers were part of the activist group Disabled in Action, who, by blocking non-accessible city buses with their wheelchairs, brought about a change in the law. I want to give a big shout out to Frida Zames, Ann and Sid Emmerman, and Eric Levine, dedicated People's Voice audience and performers. But for most of our history, we were in inaccessible spaces up a flight of stairs. It's wonderful, and they gave us a lot of grief for that, but it's wonderful to have this space. At a People's Music Weekend workshop, Frida and others held a workshop on writing songs to support their community's goals. Here's my 30-second result of that workshop. Roll right in, park right here, we're accessible to you. Roll right in, park right here, we're accessible to you. Everybody's talking about alternatives to walk in. We welcome everyone who can roll right in and park right here, 'cause we're accessible to you. Thank you.
Vicki Rovere. Before I introduce the next performers, I just want to do a little more with shout-outs. Instead of piling them all at the end, Sally and I will spread them throughout. And so we could not exist without an audience, so thank you for coming. But it would really, really be great if every night were like this. So one of the things we're really asking is that come to People's Voice Café, even if you don't know who the performer is, even if the style of music is unfamiliar with you, to you. If you're coming to People's Voice Café, you're going to hear a good show. We have quality, we have people who have something important to say, and they have the talent with which to say it. And we'll have some more later on. The other thing, I'd like to thank a couple of organizations that have given us grants that kept us afloat. If we had to depend upon what we collected the gate alone, and we share, usually 60% goes to the performers, we would never make it. So we want to thank Community Church that very generously for 4 years in a row has given us a grant. And I also want to thank the Folk Music Society of New York, which 2 years in a row has also given us a grant. And so think about the possibilities. If you know an organization that might have a grant available, or if you would like to give a donation, a large donation, we would really be happy to take it. And if all you could do is afford a small one, if all you could do is just give us some change in your pocket, we have a jar, the counter. During intermission or on the way out, drop some coins in there, and that'll also help us. So we'll have some more announcements and some more thank yous. I also want to point out, we have a guest of honor tonight, and that's Bernice Silva, who just recently turned 106 years old. We're going to hear more from Bernice later. She's going to perform for us, and we have a bit of a celebration in the second half. But right now, one of the founders of People's Voice Café is Barry Kornhauser, and he is here tonight with Liz Taub and with Lindsey Wilson. So here's Barry.